जहाज बैठा
Hello and welcome to the grand finals of PUBG Mobile Global Open Season 1 main event. Hello, I'm your host Donna Vizca and I'll be bringing you all the excitement live from here, from the very grand stage of tennis indoor stadium Senayan in Jakarta, Indonesia. Well, Jakarta has waited long enough for the global event to come home. 1,245 days to be exact since the last PMGC 2022. Do you remember that iconic global event? Yes, that was us. And now let me remind you the hype that Indonesian live audience can bring. Oke teman-teman semuanya, halo Jakarta. Kalian masih ingat PMGC 2022 nggak? Oke, jadi aku mau di sini kalian coba untuk keluarkan suara kalian, keluarkan semangat kalian, dan kasih tahu kalau misalnya supporter Indonesia adalah yang paling energik, oke? Siap? Jakarta, are you ready? You can do it better, Jakarta, are you ready? That's what I'm talking about. Well, now the 16 best team remaining will battle for glory, the championship trophy, and of course, their place in the PUBG Mobile history. And now, let me introduce you our 16 grand finalists.
Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime. Yeah, I'm sorry for the wait. Didn't think I'd come up, y'all just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting on the river with an ace. Gotta move real careful, we come. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, feeling real good, yeah, all in my prime. It's about that time, say your goodbyes, cause ain't no match for the way that I grind, yeah, I'm all in my prime.
The second runner-up of Group B flying for the Turkey Gaming Stars.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking and talk to me nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion.
They never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like.
हाँ जी, तो ये आ गई है हमारी फाइनल्स टीम जो फिनाले में पहुंच गई हैं और इसमें हमारी पाकिस्तानी टीम भी है। फलक
I got time for the messing of gold. If this the Olympics, I'm taking a gold. I'm taking a. If this the Olympics late now, I might just slow. Got a brand new whip with some brand new clothes, and y'all like that. Got me feeling like whoa.
The leaders of Group A from Nepal, make some noise for Esports!
Yeah, let's go. You know I'm about to lock it. I'm the monster they was looking for, just like the Loch Ness. They gon' knock me off the throne, they better stop it. They can never. I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I'm untouchable.
The new rising stars in EECA from Kyrgyzstan, TT Project! Erangel, and entering as the South America champions, Furia Esports.
Survival stage run and the Southeast Asia champions from Vietnam, Team Flash.
Yeah, gotta aim for the top like. Hold up. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Never switch up. Never switch up. Never switch up. Keep that same energy. Never switch up. I'm in my element.
Runners-up of Group A and one of Thailand's powerhouses, E-Arena!
The second of Group B and the champions of the Tour TA Finals, Esports.
As a strong contender from Turkey, please welcome S2G Esports!
Why they be down the boy? Tell them it's part of the plan. I'm just the underdog feeding them slaps. The game's in the palm of my hand. Whoa, they want me to fail, this is personal. They sleeping on me, this is perjury. You making nobody else hurt, you tell them that the pregnant be for the surgery. Killing it, they ain't gotta gas me up, do it myself, I'm drilling it. How many times did they pass me up? I'm cool, can walk on my shoes, I'm kicking it. Wanna jump in cause they see that it's working. Grow from the L's, they see wins on the surface. Flaunting my wins, I do it on purpose. Praying with you till you down to the surface. Motion, okay.
champion from Mongolia, Aurora Gaming!
Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can't move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex.
Representing Pakistan and entering as the South Asia champions, Forthright Esports!
And finally, your Group B leaders and one of Indonesia's most iconic team,
Bigatron by Vitality!
Got my heart no barging in from the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in then break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child.
From copy my skill.
Got my heart no in the bed. Break you in then. Yeah, that's every day.
Copy my steel. Face the fact that ain't no cap, I'm real. Ain't no cap, I'm real. The plastic bars from a copy my steel. Copy my steel. Face the fact that ain't no cap.
Well, the time has finally come. We are live and in front of a sold-out crowd here in Jakarta, Indonesia for the 2026 PUBG Mobile Global Open Season 1 Grand Finals. I'm your boy Hot Jukes, and next to me, I got Max Man and the 7WG. Boys, we're here. It's Grand Finals time. Let's get it.
I can't wait, man. It's so great to have, you know, an event like this with a local crowd, but they don't have one team, two teams, no, they have three local teams to support today going into the Grand Finals in Boom Pandem and BTR. One win from those three teams, 7. The crowd is going to go insane.
Especially if it's going to be BTR, because, man, that team left just so much to be desired here in the Grand Finals. They performed so well during their groups, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do here.
Of course, so we're all waiting, we're all excited, but before we get into that, we got to, of course, give a big thank you to the Infinix GT50 Pro, guys, with real liquid cooling. You want to be gaming at the best of the best, you got to get that 120 FPS, and you're going to be able to do that with that device right there. So, boys, right, we saw BTR straight crush their group, okay? Pandem started off insanely strong in theirs as well, so the local teams, right? They got to be so hyped going into this.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Rondo, right? Pandem
Yes.
have been doing really good on Rondo. We do have the smash rolling. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later on, Mike, but with Rondo being so important for these grand finals, Pandem could have a really good bit, and also a little bit of a home advantage, right?
Yeah, I mean, they had 19 eliminations, the most we have seen so far at PMGO Season 1. But the only problem with Pandem is that they kind of disappear after that for my liking. I'm hoping that we see some consistency if they do start strong in Rondo as well.
And Rondo is going to be, I think, one of the most essential maps here, right? Because of that smash rule that you're talking about. As a matter of fact, this is the first time in a grand finals we're actually going to be seeing that smash rule.
Yeah, unless you're S2G, then you're going to focus a bit more Miramar. But smash rule is going to be very exciting here for PMGO Season 1. Keep in mind, last year PMGO over in Uzbekistan, no smash by Regnum Karia. They won without it. But I feel like this could be the first global event where smash does occur.
Well, Max and Blank were outside. They were talking a little bit about what was going to happen here. Let's go ahead and send it over to them before we get this show started.
Welcome to Jakarta, everybody. It is day one of the 2026 PMGO Season 1. I'm Blank, here with Blacksman, and right now we are sitting in the car before the store.
Exactly, we're right here at the PMGO Carnival area, right outside the tennis indoor Senayan. And the crowd outside is going absolutely crazy already. And you know what, before it gets a little bit crazier, how about we take a sneak peek at the grounds right here at PMGO Season 1. Let's get walking.
PUBG Mobile has built an absolute playground here at PMGO Season 1. We have the community 1v1 arena where fans can test their skills all weekend long.
But that's not all. You also have the official PMGO merch store. And I'm telling you, you better get in line right now. That's what I'm going to do to hopefully get my level 3 backpack and a pan before things get a little bit hectic over there.
You better be fast though, because we've got the giant airdrop photo zone here and all the cosplayers are getting into gear to get their shots on board. So make sure you jump down towards the carnival when you can.
It really is an ultimate celebration of the game, and you can literally hear the fans chanting outside the gates right now. It's probably going to get a bit louder if a local team does get chicken dinner today.
Well, would you look at the time? In just mere minutes, the grand final is going to get kicked off.
Before the audience comes flooding right in, we better head to the caster's desk, otherwise we might just get lost.
So, let's get in there, flame on, and go.
Let's get it. Yo, that carnival outside is so sick. It was jam-packed while I was navigating through it. And I even got some real good food. There was a Indonesian fusion burrito that I tried, and it was out of this world.
Didn't share.
You gotta come get us next time, bro.
I just heard burrito, and I was like, I'm in, baby. And it was awesome, dude. But yeah, dude, you were out there. You got to see everybody out there. It was pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, a little bit warm is all I'm going to say. It was a little bit spicy outside. But no, so many activities if you come here before the show. Come a few hours early because otherwise you won't have time to do everything. There's so much to do here at PMGO Season 1.
You are currently wearing 2 shirts too, so it doesn't help with the heat.
A bit warm, yeah.
Gotta double it up as we go into our first graphic here. The most used weapon that we saw in the first 3 stages. I wonder which one it is here, Max.
Which one is it going to be? I mean, right now, the AUG has been becoming even more meta here, Seven, and it's very close to the initial M4 that was meta for years now.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I was pleasantly surprised, too, to see this head-to-head right here, baby. Bigatron versus Hora Esports, the 2 top teams from Group A and Group B. And for these squads, if they do end up duplicating the performances that we saw out of the groups, I think it's going to come down to the Rondo, as we were talking earlier, because these squads, they both got 7 eliminations on their respective Rondo. And if they can get a little bit more than that, we might get a smash rule from one of them.
Smash rule indeed, guys. This is what it is all about here. This tournament can be done in 8 matches, Max.
Yeah, it could end instantly going into the second day tomorrow. We'll see how things go down. I'm actually going to be paying attention a bit to E-Arena, who did smash last year. Slight change of players, but E-Arena, they've smashed in the past. Who knows, maybe they can make it happen here on the biggest PUBG Mobile stage at the very start of 2026.
Yeah, and just to elaborate just a little bit more, you go after day 1. Let's say that the top team ends with 60 points. And that next day, if they get 10 points in that rondo, they will pass the smash point threshold. They win that next game, and they are automatically the champions.
That's right. Those 70 points, hypothetically speaking, right?
Yes.
It's going to be plus 10 points. But out of all these squads, these are the participating teams. You saw them walk in, and I'm looking at a couple here, and I'm just going to straight up say it. I'm hoping that Aurora becomes the champion, Max. That is my pick to be the champion here at PMGO Season 1.
Oh, the full MVP roster, right? But
Yes.
Reefus has yet to secure a global MVP award. Maybe it's going to make it happen at PMGO Season 1, but they did smash back in PMGO EECA with that insane 1v4 grenade onto Vicious from Reefus himself. Something similar, man, I'm sold.
Another team that was able to smash in their region is Furia. And the Alpha 7 is not here. I mean, they didn't even qualify to the survival stage. But I can't wait to see what some of the squads that have experience with this kind of format, especially in such a compact format, can do.
And here are today's matches, guys. We're starting off in that Rondo. We're going to be talking about it a lot because of just how much of a game changer it is. 3 Erangels, 2 Miramars, but the big difference here in the grand finals is it ain't just one day. We're going to have 2 days worth of matches.
Yeah, we talked about Rondo a lot, so I'm going to talk on Erangel. Man, our playing paths have been brutal. Like A, B, and survival stage. Hopefully, we're going to have a bit of a sense of normality throughout today's 6 games. But out of this, we do know that teams need to be ready to adapt. You're throwing a bad circle, a bad plane 7. No excuses. You need to bring your A+ tier here in terms of rotation.
And when you were talking about plane path, I mean, we got to see that double plane path at one point for Rondo, and it definitely affected how some of those teams were dropping and how some of those teams were fighting. Is it going to happen right here today? Federales is ready, the crowd is ready, and I'm definitely ready to see what they got in Rondo.
Hey, you got to put that fan on you, baby, because the heat is at an all-time high right now. The pressure is on. I was talking to some of these teams going into today, and they were just straight up telling me, man, we spent 6-8 hours last night studying, putting in the work, making sure that we're prepared for today.
I mean, really talking at the overall scheme of this tournament, PMGO Season 1, $500,000 on the line, but also PMWC. 2 regions aren't decided yet when it comes to PMWC points, and that's going to be ECA, Eastern Europe, Central Asia, between the side of Vicious and TT Project. If TT Project 7 rank up in 11th place or above, Vicious are out, TT Project will be taking their spot at the PMWC over in Paris.
Which could be doable. Remember, one of the strongest maps that TT Project had was in Erangel. We will be playing 3 Erangels, as you saw earlier, and they were able to secure a 2nd place finish. They're a very strong team when it comes to Aliens too.
Well, it's time, folks. Let's get in match number 1 of the grand finals. We're going into Rondo. And we can just see these players. They are locked, loaded, ready to go.
It starts up northwest and it's going to go straight down to Tin Long Garden, meaning Yulin 7 is going to get busy. And a team that dominates in Yulin is Aurora Gaming.
And I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do. Are they going to be starting off hot? I got a chance to talk to their coach, and Archer was telling me the strategy for today is full aggression, and boy, do I want to see it here in Rondo.
Yes.
They were aggressive already on their first Rondo. If they're even more aggressive, how many limbs are they going to get?
Hey, you know what? As many as it takes to get that lion's share of that $500,000 on the line here, guys. But this is about to get started. Let's go ahead and throw it on over to our casters, John Allen and Blake.
Looking for some violence over in Yulin. Let's kick it off with a big one here on Rondo. I'm already seeing a big belly full of teams dropping on in.
Getting themselves straight over towards the map as soon as possible. Neox a little bit further away, but looks like a lot of teams aren't even heading in that direction to start things off. But E-Arena dropping on top of Ulf. 2 very, very strong teams here at the PMGO Season 1, but we're here in Grand Finals, and every single point counts from here on forward. Sky opens up to Federales.
Oh, and Crazy as well is going down. Aura really rinsing the hometown heroes right now. They're having a terrible time. Meanwhile, on our screens, it seems like Aaron is giving it a good go over towards the stadium. E-Arena having trouble dislodging the brutal powerhouse of the roster. Aaron holding the door frame and looks for more, runs out of ammo. Is going to go down. That is not nice. Western circle blank, and it's pretty hard to the west.
Yeah, very hard to touch. We're already cutting out like 15% of the circle here on this one. Flash starting out very early towards the center. They have control over towards the res beacons too. Eastbound Boy opens up over towards Horror from Sky. But you know what is surprising? Just one team currently over towards Neox Factory. All the actions happening elsewhere. 7-2-1 also getting stuck into the thick of it.
Oh, seems like Aurora as well. Joker holds the door frame. That is too swift for it, and Scarface can't control the pace. Aurora, they've been dominating in this area, blank. Over in Yulin, they have had so much already handed to them. They're on 3 eliminations. They're looking to keep this one going. But Aurora, okay, they've navigated over. Has that found the outpost before Thrives? I think he might have done.
Flash lose 2 to Masku. But with the help of a very, very nice Molotov here. Doc finding 4 Thrives as well. 4 Thrives really suffering at the hand of a lot of teams at the moment. Doc will take down Falak. Zias win down, but Bozy, Top Z, a deadly duo to be sure.
Come on, you can't trifle with that. It's going to cut the mustard. And Team Flash, you lose another. Don't worry, though. A lot of these teams will be able to get these recalls. Aurora, in the meantime, with T24 on site. For 4 Thrives, they're back up to 3. They have full control over Neox Factory, which I don't know how they managed that. It seems like nobody wanted to go near them on that spot. Everyone else is much more preoccupied elsewhere. But the roll back on in towards Yulin has seemingly gone quite well to open it up.
T24. Kind of an astonishing good performance from him. I think there was a lot expected out from the likes of Falak, but T24 stepped up where it's really counted. BTR coming in with the shots over towards 7-2-1. You can probably already hear the crowd silence. Will quiet it down over here. Fury up to 2 elims on the game. Full 4-man squad. Horror looking over towards Kevin here from DK. The M249 extended battle here will be prevalent for him.
Looking to keep that suppressive fire down, and Sky darts for the cliff face, needs closer range. That UMP can come into effect, and that's what you're looking for. Horror, they were able to top Group 1 blank. Many purported it to be the group of death, and it looks like they're trying to keep that roll going with 4 eliminations already. This is a good start. They do have a lot more still to fight through, though, in their area.
Saf G getting caught up between the likes of Fury as well as Horror. Love that run out from Sky, though. Really just takes his time to go for it. Versus M249, that's a really risky play, but sort of hides himself along that ridge side and is able to get up. And obviously, it does take the gun skill to make it happen, and he still keeps going. Chiefs down next, and Horror's opening up a big way on this first match. 5 elims.
Still yet to conclude over towards Yulin. This is all off the hot drop blank. It looks like they are fully committed now, with all of their players on spot, I believe. Or maybe actually they have a...
What is going on with this guy?
Sky is just on a beam right now. He is lasering down anybody who steps into his sight lines. I think actually it might only be 3 players from Honor here, and they're South Point, Honor, and Jang, if I'm not mistaken. That is still, out to the winds, but there is a little bit of a threat down on that south side near Erangel. Got a team rotating down there too.
Sky's doing this with no helmet, level 1 vest. Has himself the 6x as well, and making some insane sprays off the back of it. 2 nades in hand. Hasn't gone for the first aid kit yet. The bounce is good. Sky is high like a G6 this game and refuses to come down. It is not happening. Horror might just be gliding into an insane first game.
You step onto Sky's screens and he sends you to the clouds, blank. You are not coming back from that one. An 8 elim opener coming through, and a huge impact, a huge blow dealt to the rest of the lobby here from Otter very, very quickly. And they didn't even need their recall down on the south side. Jiggle wants to get stuck in, but he needn't bother. They're just going to chill out. 3 players take control of Yulin, and now nobody else is in zone. Look for the rotations.
Just incredible stuff coming through from Sky here. For Horror, eclipsing the 1 elim per minute mark here over on Rondo and looking to only go further. Aurora trapped upstairs versus Boom. Underneath, taking a bit of shots here. Molotov doesn't quite spread far enough. Top will get down the stairs. Refus now looking for a side angle. The nade's not great.
Gonna connect, fully healed there with that first aid as well. Just a little poor bounce on the window drop from top. And now Refus on the sideline could have an impact here, but just back off the angle. The nade still able to land, and Top goes down first. Aurora, they might have been thrown a lifeline low. There are third-party angles on towards Boom. Refus could go for this res, but there's still more nades, and that's what he's worried about here. Doc goes down in the offline. Boom are doing work here against Aurora, and Refus really needs to stand up tall on the defense with Doc down, Zyol, and Refus. This duo needs to come in clutch.
Zyol's going to drop like an anvil here versus Octa. Doesn't quite find the bounce on it, and now he's surrounded all angles, moves out, will get at least a knock, but Octa will finish him off here. Immediately in the midst of the chaos, they're going to go for the res upstairs. The nade looks pretty decent. It heads in, and it's a double. Aurora is out on the first 7 minutes of Rondo.
Boom! goes the dynamite, and Aurora go down. What a massive turnaround. They said they wanted momentum here on Rondo. It is not to be. Oh my goodness me, what an exciting opener here for the grand finals. And now with 7-2-1, solo on location, Team Flash have been scrapping in this area for quite a while in Jaltin.
No Fear still going, or up to 9 eliminations now, and they don't look to be dropping anytime soon. Nate goes up, he's round the corner, Rahan tries to hold and will make it happen. This is the man that battled off the boards, grabbed them by the tusks, and is doing it once again here.
Looking to extinguish on Team Flash, but there is still a recall opportunity.
No way,
Soke
no
goes
way.
down. Sky is just a beast. He is a monster. This man is unbelievable today. And if on form like this, there's no stopping Horror.
Sky is what goes bump underneath the bed right now. Horror looking to move out towards the western side of Jaltin. Definitely possible. We're gonna look towards Pandem right now, a winner from their first rondo. Controlled over towards that western side, a team that definitely got most of their success out of that one rondo game. Malaku, good shots, but will get taken back out again. Scarface. Pitch is safe, Malik's coming through, but a little bit of just bumper cars at the moment.
Not really going too much further. Getting the flush is great news. It looks like Ulf will protect their res as well, which does remove a point from 7-2.
Oh, will they?
Damage still pouring in. Malik has got a high ground angle, but there are off angles to deal with as well. Scarface able to keep his team safe for the time being. Rayhan's there, but Malik has fallen.
Palak again down to Horror of all people. This is a very much insane first game coming through from Horror, coming off the back of their last group as well, where you always wonder, was it just a good day for them? But this is no fluke.
Great rondo is absolutely how you want to start your ascension as well. Of course, it is only one map, and we do now have that 12-match set starting to round things out. Obviously, on those 6-match sets that we've seen over the last 3 days of play, it's so much more impactful having these massive openers. It's still brilliant, but for Horror, they do need to maintain consistency. So they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. A real long shot to find a nice pick-off on towards Eren, and the flush there as well. Players are coming out to play today, Blank.
They are, and they're having a good time of it. That is an incredibly long shot coming through from them. Scarface heads over towards the side. Solus up to the wall now. Pagoda. In her hands, some much needed safety. The nade goes up, a half HP. The second is good. Solus will be taken down afterwards by Malik, though. Seems to be on a tear at distance.
Get it done. These ranged engagements, Blank, have been really pretty from a lot of these players on their accuracy. It has definitely stepped up. Beautiful stuff coming on through. For Ulf, they're on 2 players now with Ketch and Scarface, both of them.
ULF टीम है ये अभी पाकिस्तानी टीम है 4 thieves अभी है मैच में मैंने कहा कहीं
the control of the one up to the northwest, and I don't think they're going to let that go for free.
Yeah, getting through the test track over towards E Arena on that north side also quite difficult. You've got to push through 7-2-1, who are continuing to surround because they had that control over towards the res beacon. Has to be a big clutch coming through from Scarface as well as Ketch going forward. But players coming into this finals just look to be on something very different today.
Bumping all the way up on the west side of the map, Blank at the moment with the circle. See if it keeps going out that way. It gives Boom a little bit more power. It does indeed.
Goodness
on
me.
the southwest side, look at Goat Team's position. That is so huge on the high ground there. Boom as well on the north.
2 really big bits of high ground here. You also have the compound that sits over towards that western side, and all this ridge line down towards the west. We do have at least 10% of the circle, which is just unplayable right now. A very, very tough circle to start things off. Horror's already profited in a big way, though, and they're currently looking to hold on that northeast side, get some more points off the back of this one. They have lost 1. Now S2G, the Miracle Marathon at the end of their group, now looking to convert.
Furia spotting a player from BTR and taking them down. 4th Rise making their move in. Push their way through. At the moment, underneath Goat Team as well. This is a difficult area now to start to establish yourself. Those high grounds that you were talking about, Blank.
Yeah, हमारी पाकिस्तानी टीम
across so much of this zone. And the southwest side is going to be very, very tricky to try and find your feet in towards. This S2G trade names. Back and forth with TT Project. First player to face, Ephius wants to get this knock into the area, but back into the vehicle, doesn't dodge that one. And a second to immediately blast him away. S2G lose one.
Not likely to get that rezzed up either, so S2G will have to figure this out versus TT Project. Kamikaze in the back lines here, along with Lost, currently on a scouting mission in the vehicle. Solke still up. Losing Hamzy G is rough. One of the better players on this squad, I would say. A lot of time in the game, and a lot of time at the highest levels of PUBG Mobile too. So him going out and being unrezzable is a bit of a gut punch here for S2G.
BTR now in an engagement. They did manage to get the recall off, and they are rolling in towards Furia. They want revenge, but no! Eagles there, fine. The re-knock though, and they may just be able to pick their teammate up. In stage 3, it's Rezzable in the zone still. Razak can't quite thread the needle there. The backup for BTR is going to come on in. Furia taking damage, but they keep dishing it out in response. Another, and the spray down. Razy can't connect either. And it is almost all over. It is Furia roll them down. And BTR the second team to fall out here in Rondo.
A really, really, really good comeback there coming through from Furia. Hard fight to go up against. Razy was looking on fire, but Furia hold on. There's no one really else in that area either, so they can get a full team reset here. S2G, like we were saying before, Gaming Stars on the up and up. Looking to finish them off. It's Turkey on Turkey action.
Popping in and out of the windows. Maniac has the sideswipe back up, but Soulcase's trying to roll in for the assist. 3 players to handle on spot, and it's all too much to bear. S2G need a miracle now to keep this one rolling. I don't know if they've got it in the tank, but we'll see if Solke can dish out the damage. The nade not going to connect there. Stops the push, though, and may force them into the open sightlines of a shotgun, and S2G will not do so. Solke down, and that is another team, a 3rd team to fall, as Pandem are in danger too. A 4th team evaporate.
Huge shots from Ephius.
4 teams out हो गई हैं, बल्कि 2 भी stand by पे हैं.
For the squad, a couple of players are in trouble. Ephius backing up, he understands he needs to get outside the sidelines. There should even attempt to go for the res. As Rolex from Gaming Stars will keep putting the pressure on, keep sending those rounds down range. Goat now open up over towards 721. It's getting messy, it's getting conflicted towards the center, but Goat still hold that high ground.
They really have some strength there. Geeke as well on this western side do have one of the better spots as well to be playing into this one. Not likely that they need to get stuck in until a little bit later into this game. They're on 0 eliminations, Blank, but they have real survival potential here. They've got legs to go the distance.
They can run this one back. Horror, 11 eliminations. It definitely has slowed down just a little bit here for this team. Currently trying to clear the northeast side of the map. Gaming Stars are heading in. TT Project move up. Jiggle opens up on the first. Just one more to find here in Zerich, and he's already incredibly low.
Stay behind cover, but the bullet pinging off the boot there, or the trunk if you're from one of the alternate English-speaking countries, but he's not speaking anymore. Goes down on the rotate. TT Project eliminated. Otter on the northeast side, they started off super strong. They're looking to try and transition now, but they do have a little bit of a tricky approach here on the northeast.
ये टीम सबसे टॉप पे जा रही है.
Arena cleaning up versus DK, or at least trying to. Safji's got a nade in hand, looks to pull the pin on it. It looks decent, goes a little bit too far. Immediately pulls another, has 3 more to work with here. So for Tony K, he's on a bit of a clock right now, but the misses keep coming through from Safji, giving a bit more time for Tony K to try and turn this one around.
Good.
That definitely keeping him safe. The previous explosion working in their favor, but there's shots from a third-party angle. Geeke are playing now as 2, and they're rolling up. Both of them now on spot. Tony K has to go for the heal. Lest he find another nade set his way. He tries to step out for it. Does find a knock, or at least an assist on one. But Geeke will find Arena, take them down. In the meantime, this is Aura over on the northeast side Blank. They've been an absolute terror in the early game. This mid-game now on the menu.
14 eliminations, 28 still remaining in the lobby. There's so much more for Horror to do, and they have come out swinging on this map, looking to bat a home run on the first game here.
From that northeast side, you're right, there is so much distance for them to go. A lot of runway. just be a little bit tough here with Goat Team holding the angle that they do. They haven't put anyone all the way up top there, Blank. They've not actually committed anyone to the peak of that mountain, which can be a really dominant sightline, but is also a big risk, so they are opting instead for a little bit more flexibility.
Go, it doesn't really make sense to go up here just yet. You need to maintain sightlines, maintain control around this area. It's a good thing that Force sends downwards towards that southeast side, knowing that this road is going to be a little bit of a contention for them. Luckily, finding the last player here from Boom. Now just El Baril on that north side. They were very split before this. Furia tucking themselves in towards the southwest, and surprisingly, Ulf still going here with just Ketch and Scarface. We talked about a bit of a clutch up here required. Not quite into top 8 just yet, though.
A little bit further to go, but of course it is match 1. On a 12-match set, things can much more banked on towards consistency. Get a big blast out at the start. That's what you're looking for. No doubt about that one. Sky living up to that, definitely having a good time. And nade over onto Furia. Furia now have 2 knocks sent towards them. Not easy on the southwest side. It looks like they should be able to find those reses. The emergency cover is doing a lot of work, though. That heavy lifting might just be too much. Straight out from Yusuf, still just peppering around their feet. I think the first res has come through for Furia, and they're looking to build back up to 4.
Igor trying to find a more sustainable place on the map to play at the moment as he moves down towards the southwest. For 7-2-1, got to give him credit. In terms of map knowledge, I think this team is very good, right? They know all the spots on the map where they can play, where they can stand across to, and they're pretty brazen in that fact as well. 4 thrives. T24 takes the first knock here from Maniac, but not before he immediately goes down. Gaming Stars looking to dislodge 4 thrives from this position so they can cross the road.
IQ and Hazaifa now, the 2 players remaining for 4 thrives. Gaming Stars wanting to change that, wanting to take them down a notch or 2. IQ doesn't fall to the first nade and gets the flush over onto Maniac. Nades now being traded back and forth. Yusuf trying to dance around it, but dishes out a lot of damage to IQ, and a nade from up on high does manage to connect. Swash able to sweep it beside, and Hazaifa very, very low down. IQ now the last to stand. Swash on high. Does he have the angle? Not quite to connect there. And Yusuf, does he get the heal? No! IQ keeps them in the running, but for how much longer?
Swash Gaming Stars a couple more nades to work with here. He's just sending them in the slightly wrong direction. Needs a bounce on this. It's good damage, but it's not enough. Right now, Yusuf behind the smokes. Swash, a couple more nades to work with. 4 thrives, desperately hanging on, but that's not before Furia rocks up, starts to play.
They want to crunch this one down. 4 thrives eliminated. Now Gaming Stars under a lot more pressure from this western side, playing under the sightlines of Goat Team, but this cliff is keeping them nice and safe because Goat Team don't have super hard control over this zone right now. They can't stop them pushing up on the south. It's a lot better over towards some of those other angles, but Goat Team definitely a force to try and dislodge.
Ulf managed to make it up towards the slope here. They've got Geeke on their south, playing as 2. Got an even fight to work with. Ulf just needs to win this one, but playing uphill is a really difficult prospect for them. Got a need for to wait for this next circle so they can take the fight as they both rotate in. Because right now, Geeke just has superiority on that high ground. El Baril starting to wander up. Horror refusing to move.
Ooh.
And with a shift over towards the northeast side, this is some disgusting stuff for Horror. Nepal looking real strong.
Result. Finishing anywhere in the top 4 blank would be beautiful for them to cut.
Sky's 9 limbs. He's looking for the 10 of this game.
He's actually done as much or more than every other single team on his own. On his own right now.
Yes.
Fury are on 9 eliminations versus Sky. Who wins? Well, I have to give it to Sky right now.
A good first opening here from Gaming Stars over towards Furia. Southern should be pretty resable though. We'll see how Gaming Stars wants to approach this. Rolex has 8 grenades. I think I know how they're going to approach it. It's with ordnance. That dribble is crazy.
That looked so close, but I think it was just the other side of the cover. Unfortunate. A second to follow it up. Doesn't quite connect either. Furia, by rights, maybe should have gone down there, but somehow they were able to evade the damage. The shrapnel not quite getting around their cover that they had, and they will stay as 4, but they have to go further.
A hole-in-one there coming through from Gaming Stars. Would have been great if that nade dribbled a little bit further down towards them, really using the terrain to their advantage. Ulf now playing a 1-1 split. Scarface currently watching over towards Geek. Ketch is already inside the circle. Ketch opens up over towards Jiggle. I mean, I don't know how good of an idea that is right now.
Spotted. It wasn't actually coming through from Horror, though, in response. Through from DK. There's trades going back and forth across most of the map here. The western side, I think, yeah, okay. Losing 2 players very, very quickly. As GOAT team now with their first real challenge to their position around the edge of this rock plank. The nades have already found an opener. They desperately want to get this one back under control, keep themselves alive. Furia aren't going to waste any time either on this south side. They know these nades are starting to find knocks, and they can take the alternate side. The difficulty there for Furia is that off angle coming through from 721. Horror are covered off from this one, but they have to go for a res, and GOAT team have got a challenge on their hands.
Good team desperately trying to recover. Fury around the side, Gaming Stars in front of them. They need to post these 2 teams up against one another and get some casualties in the process. Nade's been pulled by GOAT, wanting to take down at least 1 or 2 players from each squad, but the nades are going long. They're not quite sure how close they are, and it's Ayala who's doing more work over towards Furia than GOAT ever could. And with Force going down, this opens something up big here for Furia.
There's a real big opportunity, a really nicely played position as well. They let Gaming Stars go first. They actually sauntered in behind them, backfilled them, and forced them to go into an unfavorable fight. They know that angle is exposed to the north, where Otter is going to sit, as well as GOAT team, who would just lob those nades in. A real nice chokehold coming through from Furia.
7-2-1 doing their classic sit-it-out play. Get far into the game. You go down to 2, play on the edge. It's worked out for them. Seems to be working out here too.
Furia open up with a bit off towards 721. Of course, 2 players now left for 721. The burst will go down. There is an answer though, and that shot does shut down Cheap with the angle. Ayala wants to get stuck right in though in response, and will suppress GOAT team around the edge here. Furia and GOAT team, the 2 teams playing on this summit, but Horror have yet to step foot.
Sleepy saunters up on the north side of all of this. Igors finds focus, but Horror is in position to strike. Sleepy will find Force, knocks down Moxie. GOAT is in trouble.
Another nade over the top from Sleepy, posts it right into the gap, nearly finds 2, but they go very, very low. 1 player now standing alive for GOAT team, desperately trying to find those reses. Horror up to 16 eliminations now, Blank, and they are starting to crest this ridgeline. Furia have got all 4 players alive though, and they are all live and kicking, looking pretty healthy. GOAT team fall. They couldn't bear the pressure of maintaining that summit. And Furia are on 14 elims, Blank. The hot drop, hot shots from Horror did well in the early game, but Furia are a mounting pressure to deal with.
The rage is building in the boys. Now looking to take things a little bit further. The limbs nicely spread across the team. Everyone is warmed up and ready to go. A battle for PMGO Season 1 history here. If Horror is able to get the win, it's going to set themselves up in a massive way going through into tomorrow.
Theme is true for Furia though. And with 3 players alive on Horror, they do have the numbers advantage. Horror are also more exposed to those sneaky little snake angles from the solos. Ulf have Ketch still in action, and 721 still have their solo representative too. And those angles are more towards Horror.
The Fury has to peak first, and right now Horror's got a lot of high ground, a lot of control to work with. Without having the 2-man push either side of the mountain, like GOAT did, Horror is suddenly in this position now where they can live it out almost quite comfortably. But you are right. It's those backstabs that are going to be very nasty towards them. Ketch is coming through like a ninja alongside with Masku. Got to be careful.
I'm looking at the utility, Blank, and this is something that's quite interesting. Obviously, Otter earning a lot of their points rather, in the early game meant that they go to their looting phase afterwards and pick up those nades. Furia have been using their nades in this late game to pick up those points, which means they're only on 1 in the pocket. Horror, they're on 6, and that could be a massive difference maker.
Well, the big difference maker is that they had so many loot crates. to grab. On the high ground, there was all of GOAT to take out there and just pilfer through, and they've happily gone for that one. I'm sure there was still some left remaining on the side of GOAT team. Horror in a position to try and open up. They know Furia's got to come to them. They're all on the same side. Sky throws the first. It's a little bit too close, and the nades start to fly over the top here, but Furia, stay patient, stay calm.
Managed to find a second nade as well, which means they're onto the boxes. Can start to pilfer through them, potentially resupply a little bit better. Otter dead center on this circle, and Ketch yet to really step up for an engagement. Being so far downhill does mean that he's somewhat isolated, but sooner or later, either he is going to catch sight of Ora or Ora are going to catch sight of him. It's only a matter of time. Igor tries to roll forwards, get a little bit more info.
I mean, he's doing great here. He is pulling out nades from Horror that he desperately needs. So now they're dead even on the nade count. Masku just going to deny the point outside. Will grab themselves a 4 for 9 eliminations. Not a bad first game for them. I think that might be the last nade coming through from Horror now. They found another. Furia also down to 0.
Got those 3 Molotovs though. Of course, those smoke launchers not appearing. We don't have an exact count on exactly how much smoke these teams are playing with. Ketch, I mean, they should know that there's a solo survivor, and they are being wary. And I think this is a big part of why Horror hasn't started to get a little bit closer to this ridgeline. Next circle closes dead center blank. We're into the final stage. Ketch is still alive. Sky can't quite find the angles.
Oh, desperate for a second place here. Silence finds a good amount of damage with the DP. Now looking to move around the side. Emergency cover flares giving a little bit of respite to the team. A big nade does a fair bit of damage. Do they have the meds, the supplies to get back on board? But for Horror, they're looking mighty fine in terms of the health count.
All right, if they clear this lobby, they get a 21 elim game blank. It is a potentially terrifying summit to try and battle against. Furia now, they're all grouped up. Luckily, there's no nades on side, and Otto just going to have to shut it down with raw firepower, but they do have plenty.
Ketch just grabbed himself a P90, gifted by the loot crate. In comes Furia. They're just going to send a little bit further up here. Sky's on the first to face, but he has been magnificent today. Opens up with some massive damage. There's an evener, 3 versus 3, but a good pick-off coming through. And Ketch also moving in with a P90.
Leaving Otter now just with Sleepy alive. Ketch is spotted on the backlines. He's down now, and a 3 versus 1 for Furia to run through. Aura denied at the very last, maybe, unless they can find something miraculous here. Chief has gone down. Silence is low. Oh my goodness me! Sleepy stepping up. Igor now, a 1 versus 1. Aura to claim it. Aura to claim it. Where's the ammo? Did he find it?
Furia take
shut
it.
him down in the final moment, but it was down to the wire.
Felt very close there at the end. 2 Titans going against one another in those final moments. But Furia will pick up the first chicken dinner of the day despite an incredible, dastardly start coming through from Horror.
Some magnificent point scorings to launch us into these finals blank. A huge hot drop coming through from Aura. Sky was a standout in those scrappy little engagements. Later on, if they'd have had that 4th player, if they'd have been able to get rid of Ketch, maybe.
Hey, maybe. P90 though, grabbing the level 3s as well, just the gift drop that you wanted. I respect Ketch for going for it. He was like, look man, I'm kitted out. I'm just running up. You can see Aaron there at the end smiling, showing off the POV from his side of things. So cool.
Beautiful stuff. Furia open up with a big chicken dinner on Rondo. They've got their fangs out.
We've been talking all week about how the grand finals, we're going to turn things up a notch. And match number 1, didn't disappoint one single bit. What an insane finish from Furia.
It definitely delivered. I haven't been able to do this for the previous days, but I can finally say it. Do Brazil coming in and getting the win. Unexpected and just pure aggressiveness out of Furia. The way that they were able to play that there at the end as well, just pushing up from outside the circle, playing that edge, waiting for the right timing as well to disrupt Go, to disrupt all those other teams. At the end, though, I must say for Furia, it did get sketchy, Max. They were sending one by one. I thought we were going to see the likes of a bit of a choke.
No, a little bit of a clutch coming out from the Nepali side almost, but no, no, it did not go the entire way. But I'm telling you, Alpha 7, watching this, I'm really happy this isn't loops. Otherwise, that would have been a completely different ball game. But no, as you said, the way they were able to play from the edge, and especially I loved it how they outplayed Gaming Stars. They let them push first onto Goat. The moment they get a little bit too far away from the edge of the circle, Furia coming from behind, swoop the entire area clean, Hot Jukes. That was literally the push to secure them that chicken dinner.
Oh, we can see this right here. Yeah, I mean, talk about close. This was way too close for comfort. And yeah, Catch. Shout out to Catch right there. That was a huge assist.
He just got that P90 from the airdrop too. That was his lifeline.
Oh, unbelievable. Wow.
Boa, tô olhando aqui. Tem mais um pro Zé. Olha, tô comigo. Tô fazendo um nesse cara, velho. Levanta.
क्या ही बात है यार, क्या ही बात है। फाइट लाया स्पून में, कितनी टफ फाइट है। और ये है होरर टीम, पूरा टीम, दो टीम है। हमारी टीम टीम तो ऑलरेडी आउट हो गई ना। अभी तक एक बंदा रह गया और ये किया।
Igor clutching it up right there towards the end, and look at those points from Furia.
I'm especially happy with Silence. With the DP28, I'm having Powerboy vibes right now from like 4 or 5 years ago. This is madness, but Igor and also I think Ayala for you, Seven, were clear standout players.
Ayala was definitely the standout player when it came to the fight that they had against Gaming Stars. His grenades actually exceeded expectations for his team because it opened up just them being able to push. He was able to knock 2 players. He was actually able to finish 2 players with those nades from Ayala and Igor. I mean, what a performance here.
Oh, some grenades were just insane. By the way, if you're playing Ultimate Royale later today and you want to have a proper tip on how to play Edge, rewatch this game because that was just peak Edge gameplay.
Well, you can just take a look at this right here. The match MVP from Hora Sky. Look at that, 1,700 damage.
Oh my goodness, 9 eliminations. This guy is an absolute menace from the very start of the game, right, Seven? Going into Yulin, eliminated so many players, so many squads. It's not called Yulin anymore. It's called Horror City now because, oh my goodness, Sky was bringing the heat.
We saw them fighting early on against BTR, and then we saw them just taking the fight to any team that was near them. Boom as well. I mean, that team was something, and no surprise here that the top 4 players are going to be from Hora and Furia. And Sleepy, I got to give you some props because you almost clutched up right there at the end. All the Furia fans were shaking in their boots.
That was way too close for comfort. As a matter of fact, the editors would just have diamonds in their eyes just thinking about that clip of Revo putting Hora all the way down at the bottom, right? Because, I mean, this is just crazy fuel to the fire here. I mean, what a start. Oh, my goodness. 20 points from 2 squads to start things off here in Rondo.
26 and 23, they're looking really comfy. We keep talking about how important Rondo is as a map. If you get this amount of points in one game, you're going to be set for the next games to come. But you know what? With Erangel on the menu, if they can replicate it here, Seven, that's going to be a different ball game. Keep in mind that Hora will have to go back to the secondary drop of apartments because they can't go to Yaz because of Team Flash.
And from this page right here, one team that I'm going to be looking at is Boom. Oh boy, did they disrupt early on.
Yes.
The strategy that Aurora had because they decided to land on top and make sure they eliminate him. Now, why is that important? Because top is usually that recall player, and I felt like it threw away all the aggression that Aurora wanted to have. It threw it completely out the window. We saw Seoul having to run away, and that's why Aurora, it's currently the second page.
Oh, you kept theorizing about it, right? Since last year, since the Smash ruling has been effect on the global scene, and they chase down top, they get him instantly, and you could see then the POV of the players back in Yulin. They were like, oh no, we lost our lifeline. If we get fully eliminated, that's a 0-pointer coming our way. Luckily enough, as you said, Zjol does get the full recall. But even after that, Boom, chase them down, eliminate the entire squad.
And for a team that wants to be aggressive in regards to Aurora, that's a massive surprise. I don't think that we're expecting anybody to challenge them that early on in regards to top. And then on top of that, just chase them.
Oh, man, I mean, you said it earlier, Seven, right? That Aurora were going to get more aggressive, and boy, did they get some aggression. That is what we like to see. Looking on down that page, though, we saw S2G, rough start, but, I mean, no surprise. I mean, that's kind of what they did.
Miramar.
Yeah, it's not Miramar. So.
Actually, talking about teams, and I'm going to throw this over to you, Mr. 7WG. 4 Thrives didn't have the start they were hoping for, right? They kept talking to you, right, of how important really Rondo is for the entire game plan going into these grand finals, and here, not even double digits, super low on the rankings. This is not the start they were hoping for.
Only 2 eliminations out of that squad. The position that they had, too, just wasn't what they expected to be. I don't remember the exact team. I think it might have been Gaming Stars, if I'm not mistaken.
Gaming Stars and Furia.
Yeah, that ended up nading them and just peppering them in a bad position. For 4 Thrives, I think is now to just showcase those skills that we've been wanting to see. You cannot just keep using the excuse, oh, they didn't perform well in Rondo, so there goes their whole day. If you ever want to be able to be a champion, if you really want to fight for that championship, you got to make sure you bounce back, and you bounce back in the second game in the first Erangel.
Oh, the best map of 4 Thrives was that Erangel win next to Potato Hill back in the survival stage. You know what they've done in the past? Can they do it today?
Let's see here, and one way they're going to be able to definitely get that win in Erangel is by getting some of them loot trucks, Max, man, because we have seen just how much of a game changer they have been here in this tournament.
You just saw with Ketch, right? One P90, how much damage it could do. What if you had 4? And an MG3 at the ending, right? So it's definitely going to be very important for these teams to try and get it, especially Team Flash. They've been able to get it a lot of time back on the eastern edge of Yasnai Poliana. We'll see how that's going to be working out for themselves. And actually, because we do not have Enigma Galaxy this time around in the finals, Pachinki is going to be free for the opening here. And you do have an early loot truck over there. I do wonder how that's going to go down.
I love that loot truck because in Pachinki in particular, the loot has always been kind of,
wait, no, because Ida's not here too, so yeah, who is going to be going to take that
That's
position?
where my eyes are going to be then, right dead center in Pachinki. Which team is going to take it? Because, yeah, Pachinki, loot became okay, but once that loot truck came out, man, it has become a dominant spot. Yeah. I mean, that last game was incredible. We saw Aura Sky get that 1v2 on the Furia, then Furia being able to come back and get that win. One team that I was really expecting something big in Rondo was going to be Pandem, right? Because they did so great in their stage. This time, not able to replicate it. How bad do you think that's going to hurt them, Seven?
In a big way, because remember, as you just mentioned, that was their big game. Can you actually step it up here in Erangel? Because that wasn't one of their best performing maps when we went to the group stages.
Well, they're going to have to step it up big time as we go into match number 2, the first Erangel of the Grand Finals. The pain plat here is going to be a little bit to the a little bit to the south side. Oh, actually, there it is, right dead center. This is what I'm talking about.
Ooh. Hey, Bigatron doesn't have anyone to hot drop in Zark anymore. There's no RQ happening this time around. But no, these drops are going to be good. But really, Pachinki is what I'm going to pay attention to because it is fully open for the taking.
Now, nobody has been able to kind of call it. We could be looking at a possible unexpected hot drop in Pachinki because of what you were talking about. Enigma Galaxy's not here. Ida's not here as well. Who is going to be taking Pachinki?
We're going to have some madness in Milta again. That was very random, right? Back in survival stage. But
hopefully it doesn't
survive it, so maybe someone else is going to look to try and contest that position away.
That's the way you win at Grand Finals, folks, is being able to adapt. And we've seen how much teams adapted in Rondo with stepping up the aggression overall. How are they going to adapt here at Erangel? And you can see Pachinki is looking wide open as we go ahead and take it on over to our casters, John Allen and Blake.
Okay, it looks like we've already got some action on some of those drops. Going to taking shots to players grabbing some vehicles, but in Pachinki, I thought 4 Thrives were going to go over there, Blank, but they've actually gone long on this one. And Pandem also seems to be on a split, so Pachinki may be deserted this time around as we get another West Circle.
Oh, I think Pandem did think about going here beforehand. I think it is something that was agreed upon before this actually started. So
second match शुरू हो गया.
Pachinki early. I think a lot of people gave that one away. For BTR, on the other hand, Lepofka being their alt drop, that makes sense for them to go there. I think the big one was definitely Go as well as Geek, because this is a team that we expected to clash over towards Nova Noya. I think S2G to get caught off guard there. This is a weird drop from Go. Dropping Mini Milta is sort of out of the ordinary. I genuinely think it's because for Geek going down to Nova Noya, Go's like, we'll give it a try. If it's not meant to be, we'll drop Mini.
और कोशिश करें
Could have been
guys,
maybe you have a backup dropper somewhere like
आप सब
Primrose if you're
support
a go
करें।
team, potentially, obviously not based on any
कुछ गिफ्ट भी शेयर कर दें।
on any actual fact, but it's the sort of thing that maybe you were trying to go out there, but the plane path didn't really help you out on that location. You know there's going to be a lot of teams grabbing those vehicles, and it's going to be a difficult place to access. So yeah, I think Mini Milta, unexpected, it's safe to say, coming through, but S2G do manage to escape with all of their players alive. Blank, they did take a pretty hefty hit on the damage, but they are 4 players, and they will keep on rolling. No other drama. And we do, okay, so we do have Pandem regrouping to Pachinki after grabbing vehicles and bringing them in.
Yeah. For S2G, I mean, starting on 0 points here, we can't really say much because they've done this before. They've been in 16th place and they were suddenly in top 4. So I think for S2G, certainly team, we still can't count out just yet. I do think that you have this situation where for S2G, though, did have some lackluster games. Some of the matches that actually were decent were sort of gifted, almost.
I mean, getting the circle always helps, right?
Yes.
And it has to be said, we always have to caveat that with, you still need to be able to win the game at the end, right? You still need to have that that little push, that little bit of power towards the end. But
yeah,
if you're only taking one test where everyone else is taking 20, it's much more likely that you're going to be able to see it all the way through the distance. Taking a look at our top 5 eliminators here. Sky actually topping the tables there with 24. I believe this is, so, well, it's certainly over the previous couple of days because he only got, I think it was 9, I say only, he got 9 in that previous match.
Okay, so Furia, Isla inside. Big top contender from that last game. S12K Silence, one of the most gorgeous sounding weapons in the game, opens up for 1, now looks for the 2nd. It's all going a little bit crazy, but Ayala starting off with a massively strong performance. In comes the backup, the boys have arrived.
From Brazil, you'd never let your teammate down, and they will. Sally forth, the player on the outside, I don't think they know about it.
He's desperate.
Grumble, Ayala, stunning on him, and Furia swiped them aside. It looked all too dangerous, but they had no idea what was waiting for them in the attic.
S12K Silence sounds gorgeous, but that's the first time I've seen it look just that gorgeous in play. Ayala wipes the floor with S2G, and all they have to speak for it is a hovercraft.
Floating on a cushion of air and maybe feeling a little bit dizzy after that one. Hamzy needing to get away. And of course, no recall towers anymore. This ain't Rondo. We are going to be seeing S2G try and truck forwards as a solo. And to be honest, as a solo, a hovercraft is a very dangerous vehicle to be trying to use, right? It's so obvious, it's so big. You're going to get spotted. You're going to get noticed.
Well, look, a lot of teams use the hovercraft to play around it, play off the back of it. You've got no teammates to play off the back of this one anymore. Basically just going to be used as a roving tank. Without the cannon, of course. Oda trying to wrap over towards the southeast side of Pachinki here. Gaming Stars do spot them, gets a little bit of damage across. Now Rondo is very beneficial. It's even more beneficial when you can open up with an extra 3 elims on your next game, sitting Furia at currently a margin of 29. Almost a 15-point average here for them over 2 matches. Let's see if they can keep that up.
And then
doubtful, but
yeah, it would be.
You'd love to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, for Brazil as well, being denied 2 of their other representatives who were pretty hopeful of getting towards the finals, having Furia sit at the top of the pack early is good news. And it's a roster that is much more familiar with this style of format, right? This 2-day smash rule style. It's something that they've played quite a lot back in their region. And we were hearing from their coach yesterday, and they were saying, you know what? We know what mistakes were made. We're used to this format. This is going to be a very comfortable start to these finals. And it certainly seems like they are looking to show that that's true here.
Which is very typical Brazilian playstyle as well. It's quite aggressive, but there is these tones of global gameplay within that as well. Because I think that a lot of times Brazilian teams at the highest level, I mean, just going back to the likes of Influence Rage, yes, some of the best gun skill we have seen on a squad. But when it came to that macro, when it came to that patience game, that's where they sometimes fell down a little bit. I think Fury is kind of marrying the best of two worlds right now, from that Brazilian aggression to what you need in a global format on that macro side of things. It's very nice to see, and this is the best time to be pulling it out.
A lot of other teams kill for pressure like that. Fury are able to kill because of it. 3 eliminations already earlier on. Into this match, they managed to get to a decent position to the east point of Quarry, which gives them access towards those Gatka fields later on into the circle. We're still in stage 1. Nobody really taking too much ground at the moment. No wild splits like we've seen from Balls and from Enigma Galaxy in previous days. They have long since fallen by the wayside.
We do have to say, though, there is a lot of water in this one, right? We have the Georgia Pole Delta over towards that, or estuary? Estuary, probably.
Estuary, yeah. Delta is when it's like lots of little rivers going up towards the edge.
We've got the Georgia Pole estuary over towards that north side, and then a ton of water over towards the coast on the west. E-Arena currently playing in those buildings that sit on that far west side, but more and more teams trying to cram their way on the east towards Gatka Field, etc. Primorsk fully open and was unlooted, so always a place you can head to if you need a little bit more gear later on.
Circle will be coming on through. Goat team very late into this one. BTR on the north side, and that might help them out because we've gone all the way up towards South George.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice circle shift here for BTR. They make their way over towards Lipovka. It's a long journey for them. This makes that journey so much happier overall. But Everest is going to get a little bit populated. You've got the likes of Hospital, Rich Sides around there, which are very, very good to play in from, to kind of catch some teams off guard if we do head a little further over towards that eastern side. E-Arena just plowing it down on that western edge, trying to get further and further into the circle. They know they have priority here.
Everybody making their move. Pandem regrouping, trying to move in past the swamp. Playing in the hook of that road can be pretty beneficial, but a lot of angles can see you. Got to stall a little bit further down towards the south, up towards that observatory. And we'll be able to chill out here for a little bit, but they are now much more towards the edge than they were previously. A lot more central on that one, as BTR have made their way across that bridge to the east side of Georgia Pole. We'll actually send into towards the race, send a scout out towards Everest as well. Pandem spots as they try and roll down the edge. As we hop back on board, we've got on our screens, DT Project doing a lot of damage, in fact able to find one, and Pandem are going down. Goodness me, what a lot of damage sent on their way. A flush, at least one has come on through, and another knock is there, but not quite enough. But there is an answer. Leon gets the flush.
Yeah, Pandem able to find effect there. He was sort of like the backstop that they sort of really, really did need in those final moments to step up tall. Not the case here, sadly, not the case. For Pandem, though, they get themselves on the other side of things. Down towards that south side, just on the edge of Swamp. Good shot coming through from Reefus, as well as Top. That was a coordinated assault.
Real hard hitter. TT Project go down. Aurora denied on their first match, but this time around looking to try and gather that pace back. They're up to 3 eliminations, Blank, and they do have their 4 players alive. They unfortunately, of course, went down fairly early on in that rondo, and the desk was looking for them to do a little bit better, to find a little bit of aggression into the early stages of that game, and they went down very, very early.
That they did. I think the TT Project going early down like this as well is pretty rough for them. It's a team that I think a lot of people banked quite a bit of hopes on. They have some real old members on this team who have been phenomenal in the past, with some added players that have come fairly recently. I mean, Neos, you could probably call him a veteran, I guess, but around about the last 3 years that he's really popped up and started doing a lot of work. I think I'm most sad not seeing Neos and Freezer on the same team, though. I mean, Freezer was just one of the best rookies in the world when it first came through. I think that title is very much in the hands of Eren at this point, though.
I don't know if we can count him as a rookie, though.
Oh, when he was on his up and up, I mean.
I see, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. A big Western shift, Blank, as we refocus onto the proceedings on this game. A massive Western shift. Keeps so much of that water rate on the west side, puts E-Arena in a very survivable spot. There is that sort of uphill threat from the positions out to the east of it, though. So the question is, how well can they hold on to that area?
Well, your biggest difficulty right now is that you have this horrible entry on the southern side. And a lot of teams did end up on this south side. A lot of teams didn't want to head all the way on that northern edge like BTR. So you're trying to get through this field. This big field here, John, is the major issue. Driving through it is a pretty horrid option at the end of the day, where a lot of teams will have sightlines over towards you, and Gaming Stars have set themselves up in a pretty annoying position for quite a lot of squads where they'll be able to take shots as they move through. So what you're going to have is a big old traffic jam down towards the south side with 4 Thrives, Furia, Aurora, as well as Go, and even Ulf in this instance. It's a tough position to rotate in from.
I mean, Pandable's also got their 3 players still alive in the hook of that road. As we take a look, and they shut down from a group of Doc. This was earlier on. A replay of how TT Projects got taken down. 2 teams really chiming in, of course. Pandem able to hold their position, losing 1 player, but with Aurora being that counterpoint to it, just unweatherable. TT Projects do fall down earlier on. Ulf looking to try and make their way through it, and this is what you were talking about, this location on the south, so brutal. And they actually, for Ulf, may be looking to go through that open field.
Can wrap past Everest. I mean, that is an option here, but where do you go from there? It would have to be a bit of a mad send over towards Crates potentially, or even South George Apartments. Aurora gearing up to go now. Like we said before, a tough purchase on the circle to handle. Do they have the grip strength to make it through? Can they push themselves through this area of the map?
The south border of the buildings that 4 Thrives currently hold isn't really super protected. They don't have an immediate buffer, and maybe that's going to play well for them. Leaving this area first is going to draw the attention of Aurora, of Furia. So for 4 Thrives, playing with their south pair, it's a little bit tricky. Meanwhile, over on the east side, this is that position you were talking about being so annoying. It's the Gaming Stars. Ulf try and give them the slip around the east edge, but they've already lost 1.
I think for Ulf, what they wanted to do here is try and wrap up through this location, potentially send further north, and they're like, well, why don't we just play Radio Tower, right? We could try and pick up that spot. What you don't expect is a team to be already posted up here. Like, this is a very cool setup coming through from Gaming Stars, where they understand the geometry, they understand the map, and how this circle will force you into this location. And it's just 3 eliminations for them. That's what they're looking for.
Should be indeed. Ketch worried about the backstop. In the meantime, we hop over to another push. It's Aurora and Furia not quite able to make the impact that they wanted from that eastern side. Aurora able to rush them from the south, and now with all 4 players alive, maybe that's going to change, because Ayala, we see what he can do with his shotgun. It looked pretty before. It's a little bit more dire now, but he's already opened up for 2, and Furia are on 5 eliminations, looking to keep themselves going on the top of these tables.
But Pandem coming in from behind here, looking to find some more shots over that way. Doc says no as Leon's does go down. And now 4 Thrives also see this spot on the map. Ayala, 24 karat gold, S12K in hand.
Big west shift on this circle again. Blank keeps a lot of the water in. It is really nasty. And now this southwest compound is so important for 4 Thrives. They're onto a winner potentially here if they can keep their nerves nice and cool. It's what the desk was talking about yet again, right? These guys, they're so smart. They know what's up. 4 Thrives do need to be able to lose a rondo and then come back strong. This is their opportunity.
I think they looked a little bit more comfortable on the stage today too. This is going to be the litmus test for it. Good nade from top. Doc and Top. Kind of a legendary duo in the game at the moment on side for this squad. All the way back from APG. Bozy will find a knock over towards Sleepy as well. But if we look over towards the northeast side of the map, goodness me, BTR, Boom, Aura, as well as Flash, all have to fight off against one another.
It is starting to pop off. Aura now down to 2 players. They try and move their way south. A difficult approach for them on that angle. The nade still getting cooked on this compound. Trying to find their way in, but Ayala and Silence are putting all assaults to bed. Just not quite easy enough to make their way up. Ooh, a nasty little crash coming on through. I think that might be Aura crashing into Ulf, and I think Ulf have just been able to win that.
They hold on.
Pretty handily, nicely found, keeping all 3 players alive as well.
Nice nade, goes between them. Doc goes down. Ayala will take a knock as well. Silence looks to finish and can do it, but Pandem looking to make their entry now.
with one player going on for it. It's Silence to hold, but there is Goat Team helping out. He steals the point for them as well. Able to hold just a little bit longer. Two players now, they hop the window. What are you doing? Silence is all too ready for that. And Panda now with one player on the outside. They have been sent dizzy with an off angle.
The DPS making a comeback, it seems, here for Silence. And he's not going to stay quiet here for long. Looks to go loud on this one. Last player moves up, Silence has to hold here. Ayala's still down, wasn't able to get the res. Goes round the corner and will finish it. Once again, Furia opens up with a legendary comeback from the start of the game from Ayala versus S2G, now through to Pandem.
Up to 10 eliminations to Furia, but we're on board with BTR. 4 of their players alive, and they are racking up the knocks over towards Geeke. A nade on the bounce, doesn't look super hot, but in comes a third party from Boom. It looks like the Indonesians have a problem with Geeke.
Yummy.
Sent their way.
That is not tasty at all. Razy looking to move around the side, but it's off angles all day, every day here for every team inside of the lobby. Another goes down, Geeke's upstairs. Boom might have bitten off more than they can chew.
Now one player left for Boom. It's El Barrel trying to get his teammates back on in. Geeke trying to keep their heads down as much as they can. Ragnarok surviving or looking to either way. And now with one player on the top floor, Arena are moving in on the high ground. More nades, more damage going to pour on through. And Bigatron look to take control and keep it.
Molotov in, and they will burn away the hopes of Boom of getting into this match any further. BTR looking good once again. 6 elims on this game, looking to make up from that bad rondo.
Another nade in. They're trying to get rid of Ragnarok now. You might have been quiet, but we know where the mouse is hiding. And the nade from Razak blast them out of the match.
It's a 1-2 punch. Same setup, 2 different buildings. BTR make it look easy. Flash though. Really strong squad with 3 players still up on this ridge side towards the east. 7-2-1. They're surviving. One thing they're insanely good at. OZ will find catch, and now we're just down to Aaron. Can't count this guy out just yet, though. This is the man, the 1v4 BTR earlier on in the tournament.
It's right on the edge of this circle, Blank. Doesn't quite have the same sort of position. And BTR taking on. For Furia, this is brilliant, right? With Aura going down, not really getting anything done here. They've got 10 eliminations. Any single placement point, any single extra elimination that they find is going to be great. But he's on a mad dash right now. And yeah, okay, he will fall. But they do get that placement point, which puts them 14 points in the lead already in match 2.
I mean, 37 on match 2 is an absolute banger of a game. Like, this is the type of scoreline you see come match 3. Maybe even match 4, to be honest.
You need back-to-backs or something like it.
We saw even, yes, on survival stage, teams not being able to get 37 points over 6 matches.
That is really quite the impact they've had. And the fact that they were able to get 10 eliminations out of the situation they were in is pretty incredible stuff. But they will go no further here, and we're going to have the new winner in match number 2. I think someone knows now, because Aaron is taking a hefty punch back and forth. Somehow the ankle's not getting clipped. Goat Team, actually. Okay, helping out, and a nade from Aaron flushes out Hazaifa.
He stepped up, he kept quiet. Still 4 nades left remaining for any push that might come anytime soon. Black back up on his feet. 4 thrives. They needed this one. They were in a good spot towards the beginning, but haven't been able to quite convert here. Like you say, Aaron right on the edge of the circle, nowhere to go either. Wondering how many smokes he has left remaining to try and make this push, but do you think that Ulf might be going down pretty soon? Not a terrible match, though. Not a terrible match.
Goat Team again in a pretty solid spot. Well, I say solid. It's on the beach, right? So they've got a little bit of cover.
Oh, it is now.
Okay, it's a really solid spot. That is a hell of a shift out to the west side. But can they hold it? They couldn't on Rondo. They had that central pillar to play around. This time, it's a lot more linear.
Smokes did get dropped here, but they are starting to run out. The mist starting to wane for Aaron. Might be exposed real soon. Quickly tucks himself back in, but got the longest road to go. An opener towards Goat, though, John.
Okay. potential inroad here. BTR, they want to try and sweep the beach clean. As GOAT team need an answer. Not quite finding that first knock. They roll up with 3 players to handle. Looks like they're good for 1 and 2 as well. The off angles need to put in the work, need to do the business, and they do desperately want to find these knocks and flushes over towards BTR, but they're starting to hide, and there's third-party angles that they've got to worry about too.
Axel gets taken down on the back line. E-Arena looking to backfill on this one. It is resible here for BTR to get players back up again. What a horrific area of the map to play. This might just be going earlier than we thought. Eren moves up, but Flash needs to move. 7-2-1 will find him on the cross. 4 Thrives, they get themselves in, and GOAT's position is manhandled by the lobby.
Goodness me, they've only got 1 elimination for it as well, Plank. It's the second game in a row that this has happened to them. They will fall down entirely, and their west side position looked mighty, but it was just a little bit too open, and teams took brilliant advantage of it. Now, we're left in a situation where only E-Arena are a 4-player team on the north side. Then look at a march down. Team Flash still got to get stuck in, but it's only Win left. Not going to mean that he's going to be out of it just yet, although will fall finally. A shutdown, and Team Flash go out.
E-Arena starting to sweep now, looking for more and more players. They've got a healthy squad. Schweppes moves in, scouts out BTR's spot. They are still struggling in the rest of E-Arena. He's recalled to the position. Razak, last left alive. It's not happening for them, and now E-Arena trying to end the game early.
But 4 Thrives have had much more time to get entrenched onto this position. E-Arena don't want a slice of it, and they will head back to the east side of the road. I mean, get rid of 7-2-1. They have more info on that. They're ready for it. 7-2-1 maybe a little bit slow to get up and backfill onto E-Arena. That's seemingly what they were worried about, but this hillside back under control for E-Arena.
Instant wrap back from E-Arena. Very, very nice stuff. Heads up plays coming through from this team. Look to go for a 2-2 split now. Just about saw the forehead there from Falak before he ducked back into cover. But they've got info on it, and that's the main thing. Good nade will take down the first over towards Alaku. Tourniquet opens up with a big one.
2 more players on the spot there for 7-2-1, of course, with only 3 players remaining. IQ not going to be able to land the shots, and Schweppes actually moving all the way in. Another nade from Joker takes Rehan down and gets the flush as well. And now just 1 player left standing. He's going to have to go out to the open blank. Schweppes already sweeping through with a lovely little rotate out on wide. Will go down though. He's still got a little bit more life left in him. And an aid from 4 Thrives might just change the tune. But that leaves the arena on 3. And 4 Thrives now with 12 nades.
4 Thrives with the entire armory at their back. 12 nades, 3 smokes, 3 mollies. They're good to go. E-Arena lost that advantage they had with the 1 extra player. So Tourniquet has to hit some banger shots now. Balak exposed for just a second, but not too long.
A nade. Oh, doesn't quite clip Joker. Maybe a second later and it would have done. He was rolling forwards there. Another on spot, and Falak has yet to go for the heal. Has to drop down and look for it. Joker with a really nice angle, but they don't have the zone.
Norman tries to go for the shots over the top side there. Very ambitious play from him, but if he hit them, would have probably sparked the arena into action, because they have been roaming. They have been roving over this map so far.
A lot of ammo in the tank here for E-Arena, but again, this road crossing is so treacherous. There is really not a lot to play around. They just about have, I mean, they've got a crate to use as cover potentially. But 4 Thrives, they're playing up on the beachhead. They have got a lot of terrain cover, a lot of open, broad angles for E-Arena to worry about. If Mormon could find IQ, that is when E-Arena could go.
Mormon waiting now for a moment to strike. Then these players, it's small dips, divots that are keeping 4 Thrives alive here, but E-Arena start to move in. They're putting the pedal to the metal.
In they go immediately, and the nade doesn't quite get the job done. IQ has the backup. They're moving in at 4 Thrives, have a linear fight to approach, and the arena are going low. They're spray down the bounce on the nade, doesn't get the re-knock, and now it's just Mormon. They tried to line up 4 Thrives, but it was all too much. And T24 now, they've got the bead on him, they've got the circle, and Mormon without a chance in this match.
Balak moving forward, scouting out the spot, but I don't think they've got anything left, and it's a crazy nade from IQ to finish the game. Pakistan takes a chicken dinner here in the grand finals.
With their backs to the water, they come up for a breath of fresh air, and that is exactly what they needed to find. Off the back of a soggy rondo, they emerge from the ocean and find themselves a powerful chicken dinner on that west side.
Regaining momentum for probably the first time in this tournament for Four Thrives. A lot of times it's been scrappy here and there, but for Four Thrives to come off a bad rondo into a chicken dinner, they are going to be beaming.
Absolutely. Beautiful stuff to come on through. The close down, I thought Arena might have had the right idea there, right? Try and isolate IQ, but the response from Four Thrives was immediate. They were on spot, they were on tempo, they were not nervous.
Yeah, they were very, very zippy here. But Four Thrives, what a win for them. Furia currently on 37. Who can take it for the rest of the day?
I felt the ground shake a little bit, boys, because I know the entire country of Pakistan is roaring with applause after Four Thrives get their first chicken dinner in the grand finals.
I was asking how that team will bounce back, and boy, did they showcase they can finally bounce back after a bad rondo. They had a questionable play sending Husaifa to Aaron. He ended up backfiring, but the team collected themselves and switched it up and fully sent it to a player of GOAT on the southwest of the circle. That pretty much secured them the win, especially with the way that they were just being more aggressive, more aware, scouting a lot more. This is what I want to see out of Four Thrives going on.
As you said, it was a mistake sending Husaifa to the solo of Ulf, and you know what? The redemption arc after that is crazy from Four Thrives, looking incredible. And it was really not an easy circle too. It was down to individual gunplay. It was going to make the difference between an arena chicken dinner or a Four Thrives win. And in this case, those nades in particular from IQ, when they were coming in with a vehicle, oh, the timing on that was beautiful.
That one right there. IQ was the main factor for that fight. Just having that off angle, and it was going to become a fight between him or Mormon for a second. And IQ, he was ready whenever that push came.
I mean, looking at this replay, Falak was just keeping 7-2-1 and the arena in check. Those nades, sure, didn't get maybe as much damage as he was expecting. He was keeping everyone hidden behind those rocks, those trees, and those vehicles to try and just survive. So sure, maybe didn't get as many in as we were hoping for, but Falak was definitely a massive presence in this game. And at the end, the self-nade, because of course, you want to deny that point away from the Pakistani team.
Oh man, just a perfect amount of disruption there from Falak. I mean, what a way to finish things out. That drive up for E-Arena, whoa, was that crazy? But Falak with 5 eliminations leading the charge for his squad. You know this team is pumped up.
Not only do we need to see that aggressiveness, this is the performances that we need to see out of Four Thrives as well when it comes down to Falak, the star player, the player that everybody is making sure that he actually performed, wanting him to make sure that he performs. And right now, he's definitely performing, and I love that we're currently sitting next to the Indonesian watch party, because Rosemary, every single time he sees Falak get an elimination, he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to eat my words.
Ayala, MVP of the game for Fury. I mean, he started it off right with a 1v3 technically onto S2G. He got a little bit of help in the third elimination, but he was solo, waiting up in the attic. 2 players pushed right up for S2G. And S2G, I believe, still standing on 0 points on the rankings. And Ayala is the man that made them go right down on that leaderboard.
S2G is currently just waiting for Miramar, but let me tell you something, S2G, if that's going to be the case, it ain't going to be working out here, because it ain't the top 6, it ain't the top 4. You want to be the #1.
S2G getting punished by the S12K right there. I mean, that is the weapon to have a choice. And Ayala just hiding in that warehouse. Boom, surprise. And S2G gets punished for it. As we looked at these rotations here, super, super Western Circle.
Yeah, massive rotation from Bigatron, right? Dropping onto the Eastern Coast, sending it right onto literally the most Western finish you could ever ask for in Erangel. And they do get actually some good entry points, trying to sweep from the northern side eventually. And E-Arena had a great compound, and they were just waiting for that fight to happen. But BTR, they were 3 teams involved over there. How the hell do they make it out with as many players as they did?
And for BTR, I was really kind of shocked the way that they decided to just send it to GOAT, because they were going to have to worry about it arena. It was a completely different scenario between BTR there at the north and 4 tribes on the south of that circle. It wasn't going to end up working out the same way. Luckily for them, we do see that fragging power come out of BTR with those 8 eliminations.
Yep, 12 points for BTR is huge. Another 11 points for Furia is going to be amazing as well. They're going to be definitely leading the charge on the leaderboards here. You know, also at the start of this Erangel match, we had a question, right? Which team was going to drop into Pachinki? And we got the answer here in this game.
Yep, it was none other than Pandem. Yeah. But they weren't really able to do much for it. They tried to, I think it was third party in the fight between Aurora and Furia. Boy, did it end up backfiring though, because Furia actually won it, and it was a player that you were highlighting earlier, Max. None other than Silence.
Yeah, not with the DP28 this time, a shotgun, and really Pandem. This goes to show a little bit of an experience, in my opinion, the way they sent it with the leap animation through the window. You're asking to get shot right into the face, and because of that, Furia get so many more points. 37. Hodgik almost reaching 20 average points per game on Rondo, followed up by now an Erangel. Man, Brazil is here to play.
I'm telling you right now, the rest of the lobby needs to be extremely nervous. Out of all the squads, I think you really don't want to be so heavily in first place. It's Furia, because they have hit the smash point not once, but 2 different occasions, right? So when it comes to Furia, they're on top, and they're not going to try to leave it anytime soon.
I mean, real quick, just to highlight how global PUBG Mobile Esports really is right now. You got Brazil, then followed up by MENA, then you got South Asia, then you have SEA, then you have Turkey. The spread of teams so close at the top is crazy, and right now, we have no idea, Seven, which region will be...
Try to get a win, or at least try to get into a top 3 situation, backed up with that aggressiveness and those eliminations that we expect out of that team. If not, right now, with the way those top teams are playing, the gap is just going to keep expanding, and it's not going to be looking good.
They have some really good moments, but at one point, Doc, when they're pushing onto Furia, Doc is staying really far on the back line, and I feel like that is a push that you need every single member to join the fray if you want to come out on top, because Furia, we already saw, right, on Rondo and now on this game, they can get those eliminations. If you take the fight and you're not fully prepared and you do show a bit of weakness, they will clap right back at you. So sure, we know Aurora, one of the best teams out there, you can't afford to disrespect a lobby like this.
Oh, you really can't. I mean, they're in 13th place already, and with Furia almost averaging 20 points a game, things are going to spice it up real quickly. I mean, as good as you are as a squad, we know Aurora could have that 20-point match, but if these teams at the top, like you mentioned, just keep consistent, it's going to be a problem. So we did have an opening if Pachinki, Pandem took it, right? Yep. There is another possible open if I'm correct, Max. Am I right?
Yeah, up north is going to be Saverni. We do not have the side of Void, and we do not have X-Force reject right from Africa. So actually, because of the plane, no one could really reach it. If we have a more northern plane, that could be an easy loot truck up for the taking.
And it would be interesting to see maybe some of the other teams that tend to go south. I wonder if...
Aurora.
That's what I'm talking about. Just flip it up.
Drop.
Just flip it up. You usually end up going military. See if you can maybe end up going north, but it is RNG when it comes down to that, because you don't know where the circle is going to end up being.
Double plate, no double.
Oh my gosh.
Not Rondo.
That would be absolute craziness. Well, you know what? Erangel continues to not disappoint with these crazy circles. We had a party at the beach here. I wonder where that next zone is going to go. The crowd here is absolutely intense, folks. We saw that elimination from BTR onto Boom, and the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, we had some really good nades coming out from Boom in general. Really good start also, right? The Rondo chasing down Aurora, even after the recall, getting the entire squad. Boom definitely not deserving to be slept on. They could do a massive bounce back, but here we go at the overall match ranking. And you know, Seven, genuinely, we were talking a lot, all Fourth Rise, Rondo team. They've had their 2 wins on Erangel, so I don't believe they're a Rondo team anymore. For me, they are an Erangel team.
And the thing is that we've seen that just based on the data. Every single time we've seen that team at a global tournament, that ends up being the case. And they actually tell you that to the players. When I talk to them, they tell you Rondo tends to be our game, and usually we can't snap ourselves if we do have a bad Rondo. Now, for this squad to start showcasing this, now this is not just the first time. This is the second time, because as you mentioned, this is their second win in Erangel. They were able to do it whenever they were under pressure. What kind of consistency are we going to be seeing out of Fourth Rise? What kind of aggressiveness are we going to be seeing out of Fourth Rise? Because something that you pointed out to me was that they just seem to still not be quite sure how they want to push on fights and fight those fights. Sometimes they try to be a little bit too over-aggressive, sometimes too passive.
You do feel sometimes they are quite hesitant, but when they're dedicated to a cause, like we saw at the end of that game, man, their dedication is S+ tier, and they are second to none, and that's why they're able to get those wins.
You know, speaking of wins, right, we were talking about in the previous stages, Ulf, right, and how they had trouble being able to keep an entire squad up towards the end. When they were able to put up some serious points, but it looks like we're seeing some of that same thing happen here today.
Yeah, I mean, Eren, of course, was able to get insane survival time, insane eliminations, and so does Ketch, because actually looking back at their previous stage, he had a almost 23-minute survival time and an average eliminations of 2.5. Then Scarface, not even one average elimination per game, 60 minutes and 40 seconds survival time, and Solis, 20-minute survival time, but half an elimination per game. We need to see a team-wide effort if Ulf want to pull off that comeback.
Let's see if they're going to be able to do it here as we get into match number 3. Heading into Erangel once again. As we can see, oh, yeah, look at this playing path.
You can make it Severny, actually, so actually who's going to be taking it?
You're definitely going to be able to make it Severny. By the way, going back on what you were saying in regards to Ulf, something that I didn't like that Ulf was doing is just not holding their ground, not willing to take a fight early on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been Gaming Stars that ended up pushing Ulf in Tornado Sirens in that past game. And they just kept pushing them back until the time that it forced them to just fully disengage from the fight. Ulf needs to make sure they use those numbers to try to win a fight, to try to get that confidence.
I feel like sometimes they're just trying to avoid fights to keep their players alive, but sometimes there are skirmishes you just can't really avoid if you want to have an opportunity later on down in this game. We're looking at the drops here.
I think it might. BTR? Is that BTR going to Severny right now? Federalis is very close by, and I don't see anybody else going to be kind of challenging.
They might want to stretch it to Zaki, actually, but why would you go Zaki when you have Severny with a free loot truck?
Yep.
Hey, you got to take it. You got to take those opportunities when you get them. But you know what? It's time for the ultimate opportunity to listen to our incredible casters, John Allen and Blaine.
For an ultimate opportunity, Black. Isn't that very lovely of Hot Jukes to say? Thank you very much. Guys over on the desk, breaking it all down. And of course, yeah, that BTR insertion over to Severny is going to play off with that circle.
And it will, up towards that north side, quite a bit of water in, so likely he's going to head further towards that northern edge with the map anyway. But for BTR, yeah, good spot. I mean, they're dropping between Lipovka and Severny at the moment. Severny being free is just really nice for BTR. Sadly, see a little bit more out of them on the standings. I think they're not doing terribly at the moment. Honestly, 13 points is workable, very, very workable. And the fights we've seen them as well look fairly consistent, but we are playing at this global stage now. I mean, pretty much you could take any one of these teams, and out of the 2 matches we played, we have seen pop-off moments from every single one of them.
Prestige.
Yeah, double goose eggs do be rough, It
is a tough time. Go of it. Taking on board with our previous game chicken dinner winners, 4 Thrives. They are pretty healthy on that 21 points right now, Blank. They are looking to keep that one going. Just south of Pachinki, actually, which is interesting that they're getting closer to it, given that Pandem claimed that zone earlier on. Seems like they won't get too close, though, and Mama's there.
Yeah, with the playing path on the east side, it's always tough to get up towards the western side of the map. So for 4 Thrives, this is mainly about just grabbing some vehicles and then getting on your way. So currently they are moving further over towards that western edge. They might clash with Gaming Stars, though, which is the worrying thing for them. Boom, Otter, playing between apartments as well as Rozok. Terrible spot for both teams to be in terms of rotations towards that northern side. We'll probably wait for stage 2 because we're unsure if this is going to come further down towards the south and just be unconfirmed between both sides of the island, where you've got the north and the south edge that's cut up between that river. TT Project taking a much more safer approach to this one, especially on the playing path. I mean, Kameshki's fine. They can wrap north over Stalbert, try and play in from there.
Project on the north side of Stalbert. Muddy that bit, but if they get on fast, then it may open up as well. Aurora, they drop all the way down late in towards the military base, have yet to make their move. Get across these bridges, and you'd hope fairly quickly to actually see it. He's just doing target practice, don't worry. The old getting some practice on board. Maybe more worthwhile though to go and try and find a helmet though as well.
Yeah, potentially. Giving it large. I think for Aurora, right now it's all about just getting as much loot as possible before they head out, because they will definitely need utility later on before they head into this one. Gaming Stars didn't end up clashing with Fourth Rise, they just passed on by. No contest, which is nice to see. 7-2-1 also starting in North George here. So they can move over towards that eastern side, but BTR taking a real long split right now, playing over towards the compound that sits on the coastal edge of the northern side of the map, just east of Zaki, and they also control that compound that's on the coastal side, northwest of Stalba. So a lot of place to play. TT Project just helping one another out here, getting the vehicles.
Are you sure they're all roadworthy? A bit of a tap there. Bring everyone under control. Pandem, with their position in Pachinki, should be looted thoroughly now. They take on the loot truck as well. Looks like they want a little bit more before they leave the town. Or rather, maybe they don't want anyone else to get the loot truck, which is probably more reasonable.
Hey, I mean, you always want the loot truck no matter what happens. Very, very good loot on board with it. Level 3s sometimes can be found in here too. But for settings, much more likely. So you already hear Dimsy with the level 3 vest and level 3 helmet.
MG3, I believe. Was that the MG3? Forgotten already. Either way, a lot of loot being funneled over towards Pandem. Now they have to make their route north, though, so they have to put that to the test. This is on board with BTR, who are on this sort of odds 2-2 split that you were talking about, right? 2 players out to the east, 2 players out to the west. That West Point did regroup to the north side of Severny, but that other duo yet to fully regroup. But it looks like they might be going for a scouting mission is probably what they were looking for on that.
Yeah, just making no teams actually crossing over the top side of Zaki here. Tops will find Neos from TT Project. Losing one player early, but they've lost Bozy as well. Bozy being a tremendously good player for the team. Coming up clutch over in their group. Crazy moments from him. The rest of the team will be moving out.
I feel like that we aren't seeing the same team flash from survival stage though here. I was hoping that maybe they would be able to play that raggedy edge style that took so much control over the rest of the lobby. But
totally different lobby though. That's the thing.
Absolutely right, and maybe it's just not going to work out here. I don't even feel like they've been trying to go for it though.
It's hard. I think most of the area towards the center of the map is just taken. Most of the time when they're trying to play out on the edge, it's so difficult after that point to make their way in. They are playing on the edge here. Furia. Igor saved by a reload coming through from Kedge. Those shots felt very much on target.
Climbing there for Furia to stay up as 4. May have been difficult to get that res actually if he goes down in that spot. It's too far down the hill. You're in so many sight lines. Was that the player?
Yeah.
It was. Oh dear. Gaming Stars controlling the bridge crossing over that central island, and you can have all the loot truck you want, but it's not going to matter if you lose your players too early. And that's exactly what happens to Pandem. Gaming Stars looking to camp this one out.
Why not? I think Gaming Stars, they have had a tremendous step up from a team that's relatively unknown in terms of players. Being here on the main stage and just holding their own versus some of these top squads has been very, very nice to see. Even some of the fights that they've been taking, it hasn't felt like they were floundering. A lot of times feeling like they had this really good idea of what they wanted to do next, how they wanted to go about it. I think it's been impressive to see. And look at that spray down. Like, that is a fast vehicle to track.
Nails it. Real nice stuff coming on through. And maybe, ooh, after losing another. It's right now into the spray that he just faced down. Maybe worried about the vehicle's tyres getting off there, not super safe, but not too sure on the decision there from Leon to step out that way.
Yeah, maybe Adren first as well, potentially. Circle does move down towards that southwest, so we do have Center Island between the river in play. It's a little bit more leaning towards that northern side, so teams are still pretty happy with their rotation towards the north, but the likes of Gaming Stars, they're very happy to hang out around Boatyard.
Still maintain a lot of pressure from that south side. Yet to see teams really push towards that west edge flank, close towards Ruins, maybe even up towards Everest, but you've got teams who are rotating in late, like Aurora, who have just about come level with Pachinki, and do need to go a little bit further, who could potentially take up a position like that.
4 thrives inside their building. on the southeast side. We've got some tremendous energy in the arena today, by the way. Nice to have the crowd alongside with us, as always. Yeah, I mean, you're not hitting that. He hit some, but getting the full confirm on it, very unlikely. Save the ammo.
Okay, trying to roll in on the south side of Rozhok. Leading the charge with the hovercraft there. Nice little point break for them. Find actually the remnants of Pandem here on the menu. They're going to roll all the way up, and immediately that first shot comes on through. However, it's more than likely that they're going to divert and assume that's a 4-player squad up there.
Well, I think for Geeke, it's just really easy to rotate in with the hovercraft, right? It's a super easy thing to do, get a lot of information. The thing's tanky as all hell, so you can afford just to rock up. Arena taking some shots over towards 7-2-1. 7-2-1 losing players doesn't really worry me too much, though, because I feel like this team plays best as 2.
Sometimes, you know, you just get that little bit more freedom to say, you know what, we're not really playing for the win here. Let's just win these fights, see what we can get. That can be a pretty fearsome opposition to come up against. Hopefully they can grab some of that power, some of that momentum. But Pandem on the north side of Rozhok, they can stay alive for a little while. While yet, no team's really going to be too much of a danger from the north side just yet. I don't think anyone wants to send into Rozhok. So for me, I think Pandem do have a long time left in this lobby, probably at least 10 minutes.
Okay, Ulf getting into position. Yeah, still is 4. Scarface a little low here, but should be very recoverable. Currently just trying to clear out the northeast side of the lobby. They've got Goat coming in. Flash down towards their southeast, passing by Yaz Bridge. See what they can get done with this. Is a very nice position to hold out teams that are trying to take any of these bridge crossings on the eastern side of the map. But similarly, they don't really have a central spot here, so do worry for Ulf overall.
Approaching it just got tougher for Ulf. Goodness me, that east side is looking so messy. And Blank, Boatyard's looking great right now on that south edge. You've got Aurora as well. Look at that split that they've got at the moment, obviously coming in late towards this circle from that south side. They've got control over so much of this, and they have the pick of the litter when it comes to spots.
Definitely benefits you in a big way here for these squads. For Aurora, they can pick up Castle. They've got an outpost over towards that northwest side. They're fairly certain the teams aren't going over towards them. Furia taking shots as they rotate through Aura. They just need to keep teams at bay around them. So accurate shots are super helpful to divert teams, right? Corral them like sheepdogs.
Trying to make it work. Furia on the road. Looking to be safe, actually, in their pursuit. As we hop over to 4 thrives, and it's okay to go down first as Zypher wins the challenge and sits down for a second. S2T not able to stop him doing what he wants here. Zypher doing bits. 7-2-1 and Goat team clash too.
7-2-1. Goat team in position. Rahan pulling off some miracles once again.
Faster stand for them. A nade, that might be the end of them. Doesn't quite get the knock or the flush, which means this res can come through, but they're stepping back into another nade.
No!
Oh, it's looking nasty. And they both go down to it. A long lob on that one. And Focus takes down 7-2-1 in second place.
I mean, for 7-2-1, it's been a lot of living, right? It's been a lot of living from this squad. Kind of playing out a little bit cautiously. Like I said in the past, for 7-2-1, their playstyle is not going to win them a tournament. But it's certainly going to get them tables, and this is great experience overall. Silence goes down first. They're playing underneath the bridge here. That nade isn't quite good here from Solus. Needs to get it to dip a little bit more, so he backs up just slightly. That one, well, I don't know what to say about that one.
Not quite as on target, but the fact that Ulf have managed to get here, Blank. Remember, they were all the way out on the east side, on the north of the river. They now have a really good surround on this bridge position. They got one player towards the south, and Solus, I think, is in a lot of danger there. It's likely that he may not see out the entirety of the match, but in this position for now, Ulf have a lot of control.
Well, Solus needs to play that spot. In the meantime, PTR rocking over towards TT Project. TT Project in a little bit of trouble here. One player already down, and now Ephius outside in the blue as BTR looks to move up, and they are surrounding.
Ooh, and they're not quite finding it, and there's just so much pressure to be felt. Zerich goes down last, and he takes one of them out, but this zone is reservable, but not for much longer, Blank. They're going to have to get in the vehicles and move forwards, and BTR want to stay as 4, and Aura are in the way.
Or on a big split, they are looking for any targets that they can find on the northern side. No way this circle drops down towards the south once again, keeps Boatyard in, but centralizes that island.
I think at the moment, I'm looking at Ulf, right? It needs to be a regroup coming through from Eren. I don't think that they can withstand that as a solo in the position that he's in, with Irina there, with the rest of GOAT team there, with Aura, BTR, Aurora all on the north side. I feel like Ulf may need to consolidate.
Ulf definitely need to pull back together here, but how do you get Eren back across towards you? Island finish would be phenomenal here at PMGO. At the grand finals, Ayala though opens up over towards Solus. He was the one protecting them from these players. Hasn't gone down yet though, but how do they pick him up?
And I'm losing another player, they're now down to 1. This is on the exit from Rozhok. They have to shimmy west. Boom. Yet to leave. They know there's another player here, which makes it dangerous to try and step out of Rozhok, move towards the hills on the west side of it. But one more player to handle. Miramar. A nice nade over the top, does figure out the position of the player, and now 2 players going to roll down a challenge. Won't go this way. That is a nice little cleanup coming through from Boom.
Eren in the meantime cracks Ayala. Will find the shot. BTR get put down on the approach to Aura, like you were saying, and a cross angle coming through from Aurora. Eren started off in a big way here versus Furia. More damage coming through. Scarface needs to hit these nades. Nice shot from Eren from up on top on such low HP. A critical moment. Chief, the backstop there, now down, and Furia's in a spot above her.
Oh, and nades are pouring in from the duo of Ulf, who sit on this side of the river. The drop back, and the nades are coming from all angles. Furia fall, and they are down now with 37 points. Potential for Aura to jump on up, and potential for Ulf to join them.
Ulf is now in an incredibly good spot here. I think they're getting the res off. I think they did just grab it in the midst of all that. He was bleeding out the entire time. Really, really dangerous coming through for Ulf, but they make it happen. And now they have full control over center circle. Oda now looking over towards E-Arena. They're passing on through. 2 teams that need to take control of the north side. They've got GOAT, the Remnant, down towards the south.
They crashing in on the south edge. Boom, trying to make their way in, but it's such a hard wall to come up against here. They crash 2 more after getting the first flush, and will look for the rest of Geeke. The drop down not going to go his way, as El Beryl still just rolling up these stairs, trying to take the rest of Geeke with them. They had a scrap with them before, one in through the window. Okay, they're going to slip right past one another there, and it's a bit chaotic on the inside. Boom now down to 1, and Geeke not getting the answers that they need.
El Beryl with the AKM, still using the 7.62 to his advantage. Takes a fair bit of damage, has to dip back. Last first aid kit for him. Last chance for Boom up against Geeke.
Steps into the fight once more, nade down the stairs, could be all it takes, but the spray down looks tight. El Beryl not going to walk into it though. Another challenge, the nade starting to run dry, you'd imagine. He's still got the one in the pocket. Where's he going to put it though? I feel like might be a little bit of a waste here. Not going to find anything.
We are getting an island finish.
Oh no.
We are dropping towards the island here. Water abound, surrounding on all sides. You're going to have to pull up the drawbridge here because we've got a moat.
Huge Ulf. EK still struggled to dispatch the final player from Boom. The bounce down the stairs, maybe enough.
How's he lived that?
Just slipped past it. Just about able to shoulder out the way.
Thrives.
The 4 Thrives are going to rock up into the engagement. It's been nasty up till now, but it's getting harder. Doc helps them out. Oh no, hang on a minute. It's Gaming Stars who are helping them out. IQ and Hazypher both fall, and Boom are still in this one.
For Gaming Stars, you just wonder why we're not aggressing on this. There's a lot of space you can pick up for yourself. Ulf moves over to try and capitalize on the fight happening on that northern side between Aurora as well as E-Arena.
Now really chiming in on this, and E-Arena come out the victors of that fight, but Ulf are looking to move through. They smelt that blood in the water. A little bit more damage would be all it takes. Back on board with our garage engagement. 4 Thrives with 2, Geeke with 2 as well. Nell Beryl just trying to find anything he can. Pokes his nose up the stairs. I mean, that's a real risk. Ragnarok, though, trading nades up and down. Nell Beryl back to the front room.
Nell Beryl stuck in the midst of these two squads. Somehow the healthiest out of all of them. I don't know how that's happened. AKM all he's got for these close engagements. The nade's close, El Beryl lived it, but remember, no more first aid kits.
Very, very low, the bandage is there, and he will fall down. 4 thrives now, into a 2 versus 2. Falak charging forwards first, Geeke on the top floor. They should know that there are still players here. They should know. Doesn't feel like they're acting like it though, as Goat Team line up an off angle across the river.
Flash, in the meantime, able to silently swim across, scuba gear into action. 4 thrives coming off themselves a chicken dinner. Now looking to push a little bit further here. Good nade should confirm the flush on that one.
Ooh, Falak as well, turning the corner immediately. Waiting on the door frame now. Last player from Geeke and a taken shot from the off angle. Gaming Stars with the assist. And it is another point picked up, coming through for 4 thrives who are looking to charge up the tables, but it's about Ulf right now, Blank. I feel like they are in such a solid spot. It's going to be so tough to deal with them.
They're taking out a lot of the main contenders there as well. With Flash moving across, they're able to take shots towards them with the help of S2G. That's yet another team cleared. For Ulf, they're on 8 eliminations this game. They can push very far up the tables. And for them, this has been a very difficult rotational path to get towards this location. And I think they've handled it fairly magnificently. For Solus as well, took his opportunity, took his task to heart in terms of holding down the guys from Furia. Yes, he gave his life for it, but you've got the likes of Eren who were able to pop off in those moments.
That solo position for Eren was absolutely pivotal, you're right. Being on that open ground, on that off angle, getting rid of Furia from it as well, and a really timely regroup as soon as they went down. The circle does shift right on top of this island again, Blank, so the North duo for Ulf can start to think about regrouping. The great news is that they have so much control over this area, they can just freely move around it in a way that nobody else is going to be able to.
The real issue for Ulf right now is that they want to play on this bridge spot, right? It gives them a lot of cover from a lot of the other teams, but it means you're lacking vision on some of these coastal negotiations, right? These embankments where teams are going to swim underwater, they're going to get close to you, and suddenly there'll be different teams in the midst. So for Ulf, they need to be very aware that this area could get super compact very quickly. And how do they want to deal with that? They know that there's at least 2 teams on the north side. So maybe they deal with that first. They try and create a barricade over towards the northern edge of the circle, try and swipe across. You can already see Scarface starting to swim out.
You know what, S2G are off the mark as well with 2 players looking to go pretty deep into this one, and with 1 player on the island. They have more than most can attest to onto this one. Gaming Stars also looking to expand their influence on the south edge. 4 thrives. Unfortunately, they lost those 2 players on the run-up, but they're playing as 2. Have to move once more. Don't get across, but yeah, okay. It was only a matter of time before someone spots them. I'm surprised that Irina hasn't taken shots either. Even as a solo, Mormon will have the ability to just take Goat Team out.
Moment, yeah, should get some 3 points off the back of this one, but 4 thrives with a super long shot downrange for Lack. We'll find that, and that puts 4 thrives up into the top 5 here in 2nd place on the leaderboards.
Beautiful stuff. They're looking to charge the top title. With 37 points, Furia, though, still a bit of a distance away. Chicken Dinner would put them over the top there. Falak looking to try and get rid of as many players from Gaming Stars as he can, but it's a very tall order, Blank, and the far side of the bridge is going to start to chime in too, because no one's really starting to control that east flank anymore.
Ulf starting to flex out a little bit. I think they're realizing there isn't any more teams left on that northern edge now. Force goes down, Ketch will pick that one up from a very, very long back line. Nice.
Oh, Falak for the first opener. The shotgun shut down there.
Gaming Stars are injured.
They absolutely are. They're taking a knock from another angle as well. They are starting to suffer. Only 1 player on 2 different points, and S2G have got both sides of this river covered. They've got a player on that boatyard area as well as on the central island. I don't know if they're aware of Yusuf. I think they may well be now. can see there is a trade back and forth, and now Forthrice can move along this one until Ulf start to march in.
Forthrice just trying to confirm the points off the back of this. Hamzy G, player with a lot of renown in the game. Now looking to find some more shots, some more points for S2G, because anything counts at this point in time. They've already like 4x their amount of points they had from the beginning of this one.
Real great results compared to what they found before. That circle does take us just off of the south coast as well, which means game starts at the lead. Forthright looking across as well. There's the first on the lineup, getting another knock. Balak looks for more as well, but that's the answer, and that's the worry from Ulf. They can start to move forwards and encircle everybody trying to cross. I don't see anyone but Ulf taking this.
Ulf's been so careful. They've pretty much commandeered the entirety of the northern side of this island. They cleared out everything methodically. Now they know that there is nothing on this northern side. They can completely overwhelm the bank. Forthright does go down at the hands of Ketch, a previous MVP of days gone past, but this man is now working his way up to be back at the top with the best.
S2G up into a second place, but already losing one of them. And this is magnificent stuff coming through from Ulf. With one player left standing, Hamzy's on the far side, does need to cross, doesn't have any way to do so. A big opener onto Eren, may be able to find it, but now position is given away. They know exactly what they're playing against, and there is no way that he's going to be able to find it.
Good shot.
Eren pins him to the back wall there, and Ulf line up a staircase for them to climb those tables nice and fast.
They should be zooming towards the top of the tables there alongside with Fury and the likes of Forthright. That's a big gain for them. We know Ulf can do it. This team is extraordinary in terms of the talent they have on board. Some wild players from across the region of Turkey all coming together as this Turkish super squad. Great to see them actually performing on the main stage.
Absolutely. Forthright as well did very well late into that match blank. They got up into the top 3. I think they had 8 elims as well. I think they pushed past 30 points off the back of that game. So a great result for the Pakistani team, as well as for Ulf, and as well as S2G, right? If nothing else, it was a little momentum builder. If they can keep that going, we know what they can do on Mirror.
It's so funny seeing the guys from Ulf, because I remember all these guys in the past. I remember them with very different faces. They're all grown up now, but they're looking to grab the win here at PMGO.
And we get a boatyard bridge finish in match number 3. And one team in particular absolutely dominated it, and it was Ulf.
Oh, the Wolves are better when they hunt in pack. And you know what? Finally, a full team finish 7 from Ulf that we've been asking for pretty much since day 1. And this is it. We finally get that strong finish. And not an easy one too, right? You're playing down under the bridge. And the timing of engaging that fight, especially onto Aurora, that I know you're very adamant about, was beautifully executed.
It really was. The 2-2 split for this squad. We were asking for them to just commit to a fight. We were asking for them to actually just stick to a fight.
Don't doubt yourself.
Yes. Exactly. Use that fragging power that you have. They ended up sending Scarface and Kedge, if I'm not mistaken, to just scout that area when they were fighting, when Aurora was fighting E-Arena, and it worked out wonders because once they ended up clearing that, they just had so much control of the circle.
I just hope this game is going to remind them that they are just a menace, even on the global stage, and that when they have the players, they have that opportunity to get those wins.
Let's take a look here at the final blow, and here's some of those in-game comms from these players.
Eren bana bak, girdim ben. Gidiyor. Nice. Öldü bunlar. Şuraya koşuyorum. Koşuyorum. Kayaya geçiyorum. Geç. Neredeler? Kayanın orada bir yerde. Hayır, kayanın orada bir yerde. Altında kayanın bir yerinde. Sıktı, duydum. Bekle, yerin orada. İnfo verme. Bilmiyorum, diğerlerini bilmiyorum. Bir kaldı. Sakin ol. Burada olabilir. Burada. Nerede? Evet, burada aynen. Bak. Nate atıyorum, bak da çıktı. At bakayım. Nice.
Nice indeed there. 1-2 finish on the side of Turkey as we're going to see Ulf there with putting up some pretty serious numbers here, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Black was saying earlier, right? It's just like, he remembers those boys back in the day when it was Fireflux. And you know what? The embers of Fireflux are still not fully extinguished because they just get so many big numbers. Eren in particular, and Ketch. And you know what? Finally seeing some good numbers from Solis and Scarface that until this point, Seven, were a little bit too silent in my opinion.
Yeah, and I gotta give some props to Eren too, because the off angle that he was able to get on the players from Fourth Drives, just stopping that momentum that Fourth Drives was having. And on giving props to some players, I gotta give props to Falak. My goodness, for him to, at one point, you wanted him to crash into the water. He said, no, I want to go take those fights. I want to win that MVP. And he was able to do just that with those 5 eliminations.
If it was anyone else, I'd like go in the water. But I did indeed, as you said, Seven, forgot. We're talking about Falak. So if he can take a fight, chances are he's going to go for it. But sure, Falak is MVP. But the reason why he is MVP is because he was set up by the long-range assistance of T24.
Yep.
T24, you know, compared to the rest of the team, maybe not the main core fragger. You're looking mainly a little bit more at Huzaifa and Falak. But here, he was so important to the success of Fourth Drive. So sure, Falak is here, but the entire team just did so good.
And this goes hand in hand with what I was saying for Fourth Drives after that performance that we had in the previous match, in the first Erangel. And it was none other that Falak needs to start performing. And he did just that. Not only when they were taking the fight between Boom and Geeke, they came out on top. And then for him to just have the awareness to push and actually want the fight with Gaming Stars, they were throwing nades for the longest time. He waited for that Gaming Stars player to just cook that nade, and then he fully sent it. Beautiful play by Falak.
Tell you what, guys, I mean, this has been one crazy match indeed. We have seen pretty interesting things here off the rip. We saw GOAT take out 7-2-1, and with that, we saw the top 3 teams go out pretty early. That gave a huge opportunity for squads to catch up on the leaderboards.
Well, I like it. It's going to make things a little bit more interesting as you get into the next games today, but with 23 points this time around on the grassy pastures. Going to be really happy about it before Thrives. I wonder, with a strong finish like that, actually, right, so top 3, 8 eliminations, really good game. How high are they going to be on the rankings? Because keep in mind, their record, PMWC last year was top 7. Can they get anything higher than that?
If I'm not mistaken, they're going to be sitting in 2nd place, depending on... Yeah, Furia had a pretty healthy lead, and I think with this points, they should go up to that 2nd place. And yeah, Furia getting 0 points. Enough. One thing, though, that we're starting to see, I don't know if you were going to talk about the same thing, but Aura.
Yes, I was going to say,
they're starting to slow down, Max.
Good rondo, and it's been like, kind of going downhill from there on out on Erangel in particular. But oh, no! It is going to be Furia falling
2nd place.
There.
हाँ जी तो गाइस काफ़ी अच्छा जा रहा है हमारी पाकिस्तानी टीम भी अभी तक तो वो 3rd नंबर पे है पहले 3 मैचेस में